I'm Charlotte of Wild Magic Yarns. You can find me under the same name on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and on my website at www.wildmagicyarns.com. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm doing this video in stages, and the first one I filmed on my Insta360 camera, which is great for 360 videos, but not so good for podcast videos. So if it looks like it's been filmed on a potato, it hasn't, but you'd be forgiven for thinking it has. So first up, I'm going to do a bit of an introduction about myself, because this is my first ever real podcast video.
Oh, what's occurring?
So I thought I'd start with a bit of information about me. First of all, I just want to say that I wasn't going to record this podcast at all, because I've quite literally been in bed for the last 4 weeks or so without leaving the house, because I have multiple chronic illnesses and I've just been really, really ill. And then I thought, well, that is me. That is what life is like for me. So I thought, why not just film anyway? And I'm probably going to do this podcast in sections, so there will be bits of editing and cutting and things like that. But, you know, as I said, that's life for me, and I wanted to show the real me. So the reason behind the Gavin and Stacey little bits in between is because I'm from Wales and I am originally from Barry. So if you've seen Gavin and Stacey, you will know that the show was set in and around Barry, and it is one of my comfort shows now that I watch, because it's home, and I grew up in Barry. I spent a lot of time on the different beaches there. I didn't move to West Wales until I was 23. So yeah, I was there a long time, and I miss it. I think once you've lived in Barry, then there's always that pull back to Barry. And it hasn't got a great reputation. You know, there are some not so nice things about Barry, but the beaches and the walks and the fairground and everything, it's just home, and I love it. So I thought I'd go with the Barry Island theme. The Gavin and Stacey theme even. So I now live in West Wales with my husband, our 15-year-old son. We've got a nearly 8-year-old crossbreed called Maddie. We've got an 8-month-old border collie called Blythe. 4 cats: Sheldon, Maggie, Hermione, and Jon Snow, and a cockatiel called Prompto. So there are quite a few living beings in our house, but I wouldn't change it for the world. The dogs especially, they're just my life. So and my son, of course, and my husband, not forgetting them. But yeah, very much an animal family. So basically, years ago, just before my son was born, just after my son was born, I decided to open a local yarn store, which I did because I was 25 at the time. By then, I think I'd been knitting for 20 years. I started knitting when I was 5. My grandmother taught me. And I was very much into yarn. So I had a bit of a break when I was a teenager. And then when my son was born, I was a cloth nappy user. So I discovered that a lot of cloth nappy babies wear something called shorties or longies, and they're basically knitted shorts or trousers, and they're designed, they're soaked in lanolin before wear, and they're designed to protect from any leaks from reusable nappies, because if you've used them, you know that sometimes they can leak. So having wool over them is a great way to soak anything up. The lanolin protects the wool from any spills and keeps the baby dry. So I started to look into longies. I bought a pair for my son, and it was then through that seller that I discovered hand-dyed yarn. I'd never used it before, never heard of it. I always used commercial yarn, but longies were made in hand-dyed yarn because it needed to be pure wool, and I thought the colours and everything were amazing. So I ordered my first ever hand-dyed yarn. If I can find a picture, I'll put it up. I'm sure I've got one somewhere. But I ordered it from a seller called Baby Longlegs, and I think she's now Mama Longlegs, and I'm not sure if she does dyeing anymore. But I can even remember the colourway was called Blue Banana, and when it came, it was the best yarn I'd ever seen. So I made my son a pair of longies in Blue Banana. Again, at the time, I didn't know circular needles existed, so I knitted a flat pair of trousers with a seam. And then once I knitted one pair, that was it. Then I was away. I discovered circular knitting. I discovered more hand-dyed sellers, different things I could make for my son. And it just blossomed from there. And then probably about a year later, I found myself looking at an empty yarn store that had just come up for rent. And I thought, why not? You know, I had my own business anyway. So I thought, I'll just open a second one. So I did, and it was a yarn and coffee shop. So I had somebody working there, one half selling homemade cakes, coffees, light lunches, things like that. And then I ran the other half, which was hand-dyed yarn, commercial yarn, patterns, accessories, haberdasheries, everything to do with yarn. And it was bliss. I could sit in the shop, chat to people about knitting, and then I decided I needed to crochet because, you know, I had a lot of people coming in and asking about crochet patterns. Did I know how to do this stitch, that stitch? No, I didn't. I'd never crocheted before in my life. So I tried various tutorials online. I got books out of the library. I just could not get it at all. So as a last resort, I went to a lady who runs a yarn shop, and she offered to teach me how to crochet for free. Lovely lady. And she did. She physically put my hands where they needed to go, and it just clicked, instantly clicked. And I've been crocheting now for 15 years. So I was obsessed at the start. I don't think I knitted for quite a while once I discovered crochet. I made blankets, and blankets was the main thing, hats, all sorts of things, jumpers for my son. Yeah, so now I do both. Then I decided 2 years into running the yarn shop that I wanted to go back to university and train to be a teacher. So unfortunately, I gave up the lease on the shop, which was a really hard decision, but the traffic was so bad getting to the shop that a half an hour drive would take over an hour there and back every day, and it was relentless. And I'd started to become ill at the time as well, so I didn't know it at the time, but that was when all my chronic illnesses started. So yeah, I gave up the lease on the shop, but it was probably one of the best things I ever did, because I went to uni, trained as a teacher, got my undergrad degree, did a PGCE, and then I worked as a teacher for quite some time until I had to start using a wheelchair. So that was a really, really hard time in my life. I thought I'd lost everything. But it turned out to be a blessing in disguise, because although I couldn't work in the classroom anymore, we had lockdowns and everything that happened then, and I thought, right, I'm going to do my master's then. So I spent the 2 years of all the COVID goings on doing my master's in education, completed that, and then I was offered a position working for a women's domestic violence organisation, a non-profit. So basically we offer training courses, accredited courses, to victims of domestic violence, and these courses range from maths courses to CV writing. We do safeguarding courses, we do domestic violence courses, how to use the internet safely, all sorts of things. So what I do is I write the courses, develop the presentations. I use the software to make the courses available for online learning, and it's a lot of work, but I absolutely love it, and I can do it from home. So if I'm ill, which is a lot, I don't have to worry about getting up, getting dressed, commuting, sitting in an office all day, coming home. I don't need to do any of that. I can lie in bed, have my laptop open, and just work from home like that. They do want me to go into teaching, but I will be taking care of the online learning side of things, so I'll still be able to work from home, which is really good. And you know, it's just so accessible, which is great for me. So yeah, so I've gone from local yarn store to primary ed, and now I work with adult learners. But I have recently started dyeing my own yarn, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to dye enough just to make some extra pennies every month. But I'm well aware that I can basically dye 2 skeins in a weekend and then be absolutely laid up for a few days. So yeah, so extremely small scale, but I absolutely love it. And that is my new latest obsession. Last year I started spinning, and that was my obsession. This year it's dyeing. And I never ever thought I'd be able to dye yarn. I said to my husband a couple of years ago, you know, I'm just too disabled to do this. I use a wheelchair, I can't really get around very well, I'm in a lot of pain. And he was like, well, then we need to make it doable for you if there's something you really want to do. So I'll put in some little clips now of our haul, which sounds strange, but we live in a disability adapted bungalow, and our hall it's not at the front of the house, it's in the middle of the house, so it's between the living room and the bedrooms and bathrooms, so it's not a big space in any way, but it was big enough for me to make it into a dyeing area. I say me, I mean my husband, our friend, my son put the desk together and everything. I sort of observed and bought lots of things. So yeah, so now my hall is, I'm looking at it over there because I can see it from my bed. It's my dyeing area, and it is just brilliant to have that access to it. It's right next to the bathroom, so I can move easily from the hall to the bathroom to do the rinsing, the soaking and everything of the yarn. And my husband has even bought me a hob to go on my desk so I don't have to go to the kitchen. Yeah, so they've made it possible for me to do something that I never thought I'd be able to do, which is brilliant. So what I'll do now is I will show you before. Our friend who painted the hall for me kindly agreed to let me time-lapse record him painting, and he said it's fine for me to put on YouTube. So I will upload that as well, and then I will give you a little tour of after and my little dye area, which I'm just so pleased with it. Yeah, so here we go. So this is my haul. As you can see, at the moment it is a bit of a dumping ground. That's what the cat litter tray is, random shelves, the hoover, some yarn and spinning stuff, and bookshelves. The treadmill was there up until last week, and no light fitting. It's just not great, really. So this is my finished haul. I've got some storage over here where I keep my yarn dyeing apron. My husband bought me that for my birthday. Got some supplies on the top shelf, hand carders, bobbins, and a skinny penny from So Sweet Violet. New books, and Birth of the Ball Winder. I can give you a demo of my electric ball winder if you want one. That's Ariadne the e-spinner, and my Swift and Lazy Kate on the bottom. At the other side I've got this huge basket I got at Wonderwool where I keep my cooking pot and my kitchen roll. This is a Kallax unit. I put a crisscross there so I could store yarn and fibre. Then I put a set of drawers in the next box down, and this is where I keep all my dyes. And then the bottom two are just boxes where I keep undyed yarn. And then on this side, put the bookshelves back up a little bit higher. This is where I keep my Mina Lima collection and my Penguin cloth band collection. My lamp that matches the light fitting. And then I've got little shelves, tag from Handcrafted Love, and a badger and a mushroom. Some of you will get that. I keep my dyes here when I'm actually dyeing, and some that are made up already. I've got more shelves here, citric acid, gift my son bought me, and then in these little pots I've got pens, tongs and basters. In the corner there is my pet moss ball. He's called Moss, and I've got one of those milk frother thingies for mixing dye spoons. That pink thing at the back is actually a kettle. It's really good for mixing dyes as well, and I can hold it easily, whereas I can't with a proper kettle because they're heavy. My trademark fan, more citric acid, and my hob and my dyeing trays. I'm glad I got the cork mat. As you can see, dyeing is messy. I've got my rings for yarn. Stitch marker collection, measuring tapes, etc. Tinfoil, more stitch markers and buttons, and some gloves. That's my mask, yarn dyeing, sock blockers, and some spare hooks I use for hanging yarn. This print is from Peregrine Shop on Instagram. I won it in a competition, but she does the most amazing Welsh themed art. Yeah, so that is my haul and I'm really happy. Little disclaimer, I just want to get this video up and out of my mind because I really want to start podcasting. But I'm still ill in bed. I do not look great. And most of this video, the rest of it, is going to be me showing you things without me actually being in the video. I don't know if that's something that people are willing to watch. I don't know if people would rather see my face when I'm showing you things. I'm not sure. But for this video, it is going to be filmed like this, where I'm showing you things, and you will also have to excuse my nails because my autumn nails have absolutely ruined my nail beds underneath, so I'm giving them a break from gel and acrylic and everything that has damaged them. So yeah, please excuse my nails. And now I will move on to the next part of the video.
Right, I am done. Romeo done.
Blythe? Blythe? Well, that's not helpful, is it? Is that helpful? Could you get off the backdrop I have just created, please? Blythe? Blythe? Come on. You need to move. You need to get off. Well, I was going to film FOs, so I mean, I guess I still could. Should we do it on your back? Yeah? Okay. So, I don't have many FOs. Hi. This is the first one, and this is Mini Jordan the Lobster from Toft, and there's a little bit of a backstory to this one. Toft were recently having a sale on patterns that included Blythe. Oh, now he's squashed. That included patches, Toft patches, and I didn't know what these were. Well, you killed him now. Blythe is very sensitive, and he doesn't like strange things touching him or in his face. He doesn't like strange noises. We have a Blythe scared of list, and Blythe, there are some... I think don't lick my fur. I think we might have to start this again. I'm going to try a take 2. I'm not sure if it'll work, because as you can see, Blythe is still here. Blythe, the other way, please. I haven't got enough room. Thank you. Thank you. Happy boy. Okay, so going back to Jordan the Mini Lobster. Toft were doing a sale on patterns that included patches. And my mum bought me a Toft project bag for my birthday a few weeks ago, and with it came a patch, and I'll show you this in the acquisitions part, but I already had one or two. I actually won my third patch from Martin at Knit365 when he did his Toft unofficial doll along. So that was really great, and I got one at Wonderwool Wales, and then I got one with a Christmas pattern that I bought last year. So I thought, right, I'm going to start collecting Toft patches, and the bag has got spaces to put them. So I went online, looked at the patterns, and decided I was going to get 2 of the mini kits because they were, I think, £8 each. This little guy was £8. So that's what I did. I got Jordan the Lobster and I think it's Bridget the Elephant, which I haven't made yet. And they both came with patches. So I said to my husband, look at all these patches. There's a whale shark called Bryony, which is my middle name. And he was like, I tell you what, if you make a deal with me, I will buy you the whale shark, the other 2 kits, and the book, the cork notepad, which is, I'll just get it, which also came with a patch. So I was like, right, what is this deal? So I tend to watch the same TV programs over and over. That's just what I do. Stick to the same old programs: Gilmore Girls, Big Bang Theory, Friends, and Gavin and Stacey. And he has been trying to get me to watch Seinfeld for ages. And it's not that I'm against watching it, it's that when he's watching it in the other room and I'm in here watching something in the bedroom, the music from it just really gets to me. So I have point blank refused to watch it up until now. So anyway, he said he'd buy me all the Toft kits, the 3 of them, and the book, if I watch Seinfeld, all of the seasons. So obviously I wasn't going to turn down that offer. So that is how Jordan the Lobster arrived. He said I had to have that one because I always say he's my lobster, which is a quote from Friends if you've seen it. So yeah, I think he's really, really cute. I put my own safety eyes, fluff, my own safety eyes on him. I just prefer the look of those, and they don't come out. And yeah, so that's the first one I've made. And I do have some more Toff things to show you in the acquisition section. I don't have any other knitting or crochet finished objects. What I do have is this apple. My mum got me this kit for my birthday again, and it's a Christmas apple. It is made up of tiny English paper piecing hexagons, some little beads there at the bottom, and then there's a leaf and a stalk at the top. I actually really enjoyed making this. It was small and fiddly. I've done English paper piecing before to the point where I've made a few hexagons, not ever done anything with them. So this was new to me. And they have these things inside called hexiforms, so you don't have to take them out. They're sort of like felt, and they're washable, and they help hold the structure more, but they're still soft and flexible. So I think they're great. I wouldn't go back to using paper now I've discovered these. So yeah, it didn't take that long to make, a couple of days. Really enjoyed making all the tiny shapes. And this is the Christmas one, so I'm probably going to put it out with my autumn decorations. So that is my second FO, and then the last one is another sewn one. It's a little pumpkin, a little felt pumpkin. And this, again, my mum bought me this. Thanks, Mum, for buying me everything. This was a little kit, which is from the range. And it comes with 2 pumpkins, an orange and a cream one. It comes with the little felt pre-cut. You do have to make the flower yourself. You have to sew the front pumpkin on, all the bits, the stalk, the ribbon, and then you stuff it. It comes with stuffing as well. It doesn't come with a needle, but it does come with thread. I've done it a tiny bit differently to the instructions. They instruct you to glue all the bits on, but I tend to sew them on. I used to make a lot of felt shapes, decorations and things to sell. So yeah, I did it my own way, and it's come out really nicely. So I'm going to make the other one hopefully this afternoon, and they will again be part of my autumn decorations. So yeah, that is my finished object.
Love, I'll take all of this, alright? But I don't need another whip.
So I'm going to show you my whips. I'm going to keep these sections quite short because I'm very aware that I'm not in them, and I'm not sure how much people can take of me waffling on with inanimate objects in the background. So yeah, these are my whips. I keep them in my new bag, which is amazing. Got it from my husband for my birthday. First up, I have just learned how to make toe-up socks. So I did the toe on both of these socks, and then I transferred them to small circulars because I needed my my long circular for other socks. So I moved these over, and it's actually working out really nicely because I can knit two at a time, but on small circulars. So this one, I've put the heel in. It's got a lovely stitch marker on it from Chapel View. And this is a set of four different autumn leaves. And then I've done the toe, and I'm working on the stripy bit for the next one. The yarn here is from Giddy Yarns. It's a self-striping gobstopper ball. I love these because they're already wound for you. They come in a 50 gram ball with a 20 gram contrast colour. That amount of yarn is perfect for a pair of socks. For me, I'm a size 5, and I can get one pair of socks. I have a little bit left over. They usually go in my Battenberg blanket, and they're a bit cheaper than buying 100 grams. So yeah, these are, the colourway is Library. It's 25% nylon, 75% merino, sock weight yarn, and I'm just doing my own pattern, just plain vanilla socks, toe up with a German short row heel, and I'm not sure what cast off I'll do. I haven't quite figured out the toe up cast off. The one I did last time was, it sort of flared out at the top, which I didn't like. They were okay once they were on my feet, but I would like to find something that doesn't flare, but still has quite a lot of stretch. So if anyone has any suggestions for that, that would be amazing. These are my D&D socks, so I always have a pair of vanilla socks on the go for D&D, because I can just mindlessly knit them then, and I find it really helps my concentration as well while I'm playing D&D. My party members would probably argue that nothing would ever help my concentration, but I find that I listen significantly more when my hands are doing something. So yeah, I mean, imagine me without anything to do, which is what I say to them. My second whip is the Maggie's Shawl by Twinset and Pearl. I'm just unravelling it with one hand, and I'm knitting this in the Countdown to Cozy. It's sort of like an advent box, but it's a countdown to autumn, which is amazing. Autumn is my absolute favourite season, and anything to do with autumn I'm completely sold on. So I decided I was going to make the Maggie shawl with this. I can't remember what percent of it goes to Maggie's, the cancer charity, but if you buy the pattern, Twinset and Pearl will make a donation to Maggie's. So I decided to knit this one. It's knitted in sections, and you can use minis for it, so you combine 2 minis for each section. So I've done section 1, which was yarns 1 and 2, section 2, which was yarns 3 and 4, and I'm on section 3 at the moment. I think I've got a couple of repeats to go with this one, and that was yarns 5 and 6, which is my favourite so far. And then I'm on yarn 7 and 8, and you can't really see very well, but yarn 7, yarn 8. A little bit of advertising there. These little stitch markers with Wild Magic yarns on. They are from a lovely man on Instagram. I will put his details below. Tom Dyson Woodworking on Instagram, and he makes little stitch markers with anything you want on them, and they're so light and they're so cute and they're just ideal. So I put one of those in. If people order yarn from me, they will get one of those stitch markers, as well as maybe whatever else I have. So my last whip is actually made from the scraps from my Maggie shawl. And they are Countdown to Cozy socks. So these are 2 at a time on Magic Loop. This is the first time I have ever done 2 at a time. Right, dogs, do you have to fight while I'm doing this? Yeah, okay. Bear with me a second. I do apologise. Done some dog wrangling. Yeah, so never made 2 at a time socks before on a circular. This is only the 3rd time I've ever made toe-up socks. So I thought I'm gonna give it a go out of my comfort zone, and I'm making scrappy socks from the leftovers of the Cozy Countdown to Cozy box. There's another stitch marker there from Chapel View. And I like this because in the Maggie shawl, if you look at the first bit, so colours 1 and 2 are mixed together, whereas in the sock you can see how different they are. And then 3 and 4 in the shawl, they blend together, but in the sock you can see clearly what they are. And then the last 2 colours there, 5 and 6 that I'm up to, that's what they look like in the shawl and then in the sock. So it's really nice to be able to knit the shawl but have the scraps left over to see what the yarns would look like on their own. I am really enjoying 2 at a time toe-up socks. It might have to be my go-to way to knit socks now. So yeah, it looks so autumnal, doesn't it, with the bag and the socks and the shawl and my hitchhiker. No, not my hitchhiker. What's it called? Habitation throw. This is the habitation throw in the background. And it was made with the Advent from Nora George Yarns, last year's Advent. And I absolutely loved making it. My first habitation shawl. I love that it's got an I-cord edge, so you don't have to do borders or anything. Let me find the edge. It's very well used. I've been using it all year, every night, as a blanket. It's small. It's very small, but it's ideal for me. I love it. I'm going to make another one, definitely. I have excessively ordered Advents this year. Oh my gosh, that is so annoying. Why won't it come off? I've ordered an Advent from Hook and Kutch because her Advent last year was just astounding. I was so impressed. She's such a talented dyer and her yarns are amazing. I had to have one. The theme is library as well, which is, I just had to have it. I had to have it. Like, this yarn is called library. If you make a yarn that has something to do with books, the chances are I'm going to buy it. So I've got one coming from Hook and Kutch, 20 gram minis, sock weight. And then Giddy Yarns is doing a Midsummer Night's Dream one, which again, if you know me, I had to have it. I've ordered that one in DK, which I never do. So I can't remember why I ordered it in DK. I just think that I fancied a bit of DK. All the others are sock weight. I'm not sure what I'm going to make yet. I did have a pattern in mind. Can't remember what it's called. It was recently on the Giddy Knits Discord channel. Somebody had posted it up. So if you're on Helen's Discord, there is a picture of a DK Advent pattern, but I haven't quite decided yet. Whatever I make is going to be lovely because the yarn's always lovely. Then my third one is from Nora George Yarns, which is again what this habitation was knitted in last year. I wanted a Christmas themed advent calendar because a lot of the advent calendars being advertised this year were not Christmas themed, which is fine. I love all different themes, but I specifically did want one that was going to be Christmas themed. And the one from Nora George Yarns is themed on Christmas markets. So I'm hoping there are going to be some nice Christmassy colours in that. Oh, I tell a lie, I've ordered 5 advents. I just remembered. I've just remembered that I have also ordered the Yarn Badgers self-striping sock advent, which I'm telling myself doesn't count because it's socks. So I think you get 2 skeins of self-striping 50-gram yarn and a 20-gram contrast colour for heel, toe and ribbing. And I think the point is that every day you knit a different stripe and then you end up with a pair of socks at the end. So I'm not counting that one. It's not Advent, even though it is. And my last one is from Dystopic Fibres, and I'm really looking forward to this one. It's based on fungi, and is it agaric or agaric mushrooms, toadstools? I'm not sure. Fly agaric. I've never had to say that word in real life. I read it a lot. Don't know how it's pronounced. But there are going to be some gorgeous reddy cream tones in that. He is such a talented yarn dyer. Dystopic Fibres on Instagram, and the yarns that he produces are something else. They are just beautiful. Most of them are based on different fungi, and the colours that they're just, you have to go to his Instagram and have a look. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that advent. I have no plans for anything for what I'm going to make, but at least one of them is going to be another habitation. But habitation throws are made with 10-gram minis. Each of these are 10 grams, and as you can see, when you get to the corners, the stripes are obviously thicker and they get thinner and thinner and thinner until you get to the middle. So these ones are quite thin, and then the further on you go, then it goes back to thicker stripes then for the corners. I am wondering if I make this in 20-gram skeins, are these middle stripes going to be too thin? Are they going to show the colour? That is my issue. I have Googled it. I can't find anyone who has made a habitation in 20-gram minis. So I'm thinking that probably means that it's not going to work. I just don't know. Maybe I could take one of my advents and wind and, take half of each skein and make a habitation with one half and then something else with the other. That is a possibility. I don't know. I don't know. So again, if anyone has made a habitation with 20-gram minis or knows of a similar pattern, a lightweight blanket, then please do let me know, because I love my habitation. It also goes everywhere with me. If we go in the car, it rolls up really small and fits in a handbag, so it's great. And I'm I have fibro, so I can't control my body temperature at all, and I get really, really hot. I quite literally have a fan next to me at all times. I have to take one out with me. I have another one that was next to me that has disappeared off the face of the earth. Apparently, oh no, here it is. I have another one. This one is like super duper fan that my husband's boss bought me, and it's really cool. It's really powerful. The battery runs out quite fast on that one. They're all rechargeable. So I have a vast collection of fans. I have an aircon unit in the bedroom. I just get so hot. In the winter, I wear a t-shirt and a scarf in the snow. But since I've started using a wheelchair, it sounds really silly and my husband laughs, but the air moving past you as you wheel hits you more than when you're walking. I don't know why. Is it because I'm lower? Is it because I'm going fast? I don't think I'm going faster, but maybe I am. Maybe I am. So sometimes I need something just to wrap around my shoulders or go on my lap. And I find the habitation is the perfect size, and that's my plans for this Maggie's shawl as well. It's just a lovely lightweight garter stitch shawl that I can just throw around my shoulders, and if I am cold, which is rare, but it does happen if we're on a day out in the winter and it's freezing, and I'm in my wheelchair and the wind is I'm going so fast that the wind is hitting me and it's making me cold, then yeah. So that is, I think that's all my whips. I'm just having, yeah, that is it. That is all my whips.
It's all the drama, Mick. I just love it.
So, acquisitions-wise, I've spent a fair bit of money on the Toft website recently, as has my husband. He bought me a daffodil crochet flower kit from Toft for my birthday, I think about 2 years ago, which I made, and it's packed away at the moment in the spring decorations box. But I decided then a few months ago that I wanted one for every season, because we decorate a little bit for each season. You know, we put ornaments away, get new things out. So he bought me the dahlia kit for my birthday. I haven't made it yet, and I've no idea where he's put it, somewhere packed away. So I decided that I've got spring, summer, and I needed something for autumn and winter. So I got the sunflower kit from Toft, and it comes all nicely packaged like this, with all the yarn and everything in there. And then for winter, I got the poinsettia, and I actually got the beaded one as well, so it's a little bit more fancy. Hopefully it'll be nice and sparkly to go with the Christmas decorations. And then, as well as the kits that I bought with the patches, I also bought this kit. Can you guess what it is? Probably not from that. I think I've got the pattern here. It should be right on top. No. I thought I had a pattern here. I don't. This is Glenn the Red Kite. I'll put a little picture of him up next to it so you can see what he looks like finished. But I am a bit obsessed with red kites. I wear one on my wrist. I've got one on a necklace. They nest in our village, about 30 to 40 of them, and they are just absolutely amazing birds. So as soon as I saw that Toft had released an autumn kit for a red kite, that was it. I was immediately ordered it. And yeah, so hopefully very soon I will have a Glen the Red Kite. More acquisitions. I got my monthly yarn club from Giddy Yarns. I've been getting these all year. It's a fantasy book club theme, and for August the theme was druids, and I play a druid in my D&D campaign, so this was a no-brainer. Obviously I would have got it anyway because I'm collecting them for the whole year. It's actually a lot more green than the cap. Let me see if I can. That's a bit more accurate. But it's gorgeous. All the yarns from Giddy Yarns are gorgeous. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with 12 sock sets yet. I was going to make socks, but now I'm wondering if I can put them all together in some sort of project. So if you have any pattern ideas for 50 grams and 20 gram skeins, 12 of each, please do suggest them to me. Then it was my birthday a couple of weeks ago, and I was very kindly given a gift card for Siobhan's Crafts, one of my favourite yarn dyers, by a Ripping Yarn, who is on Instagram under that name. She got me the gift card, and this is the yarn that I got with it. It's called Smile. Siobhan said that it's like a rainbow yarn, but it has extra pink, which is just me. Who doesn't like extra pink? So I cannot wait to make socks from that one. And then lastly, with acquisitions, excuse the crinkling. I'm not sure if that's showing very well in the bag. I am going to be taking part in the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. I've only ever done one, which was last year's. I didn't even know it existed, to be honest. Again, I was influenced by Martin of Knit 365, and he is responsible for my Toft obsession and my discovery of Stephen West. So I really enjoyed last year's MCAL, the twist and turn shawl. I wasn't a huge fan of the pattern once it was finished, but it actually does look really nice in the colours I chose. So I'm looking forward to this year's. I also did the Contrast Blast socks, which you might have seen on my Instagram. I haven't seen them since I cast them off because my son snatched them away as soon as they were done. They weren't intended for him, but he saw the colours, fell in love with them. Yeah, I'm having these, and that was that. But this year it's called Geo Gradient. So I got I was going to get yarns from Lay Family Yarns, and I'd chosen my colours and everything. And then I said to my husband, sorry, that sounded like I said to my whore. Which, I mean, when it comes to buying yarn, perhaps... anyway, my husband said, please don't, I've already ordered you a gradient set. I was like, right, okay, what colours have you chosen? And he said, I'm not telling you, it's a surprise, you'll have to wait and see when they come. So I was a bit, I've chosen my colours now, but how can I not go along with him when he buys me yarn? I just, some people's husbands, they have to hide yarn from them and hide receipts and, hide things away. No, not with mine. He's like, oh, you should get this, you should get this, you should get this. Now and again, he'll have a little moment where he'll say, please stop buying yarn, we don't have enough storage, but that's very rare. So I go with it. So yeah, this arrived and I could not be happier with it. The colours are amazing. They're like sort of muted dusky pinks going into a really deep purple colour. I will take them out of the packet eventually, but I'm just keeping them safe until the MCAL starts, and I'm so pleased with him. He made really good choices, so I should have trusted him. The colours I picked were slightly different to these. They were autumnal colours, so there was something like actually a mustardy colour and a dark brown, and then there was a lighter brown and then a cream, I think. Something along those lines. But yeah, I'm really happy with these pinky colours, and I think it's going to be really beautiful. So that is my acquisitions. I don't think I've got... Something just came into mind. These are from Pixie Yarns, by the way. Pixie Yarns. Pixie Yarn. Black Cherry Gradient. And they are 75% merino, 25% nylon. And I can't wait to use them. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I've actually booked 2 days off work for the MCAL, which might be a bit sad to some people, but you know, I'm really looking forward to it. And I thought I'll book 2 days off, Thursday and a Friday. I don't work Mondays anyway because I'm on the 4-day working week trial in Wales, so I do full-time hours over 4 days. Which suits me down to the ground. I start work at 8, I finish at 6, but I get Mondays off, and it makes such a difference. I don't get Sunday night blues anymore. I love my job, but I still got the Sunday night blues. I don't get that at all now. I don't get Monday night blues. I know I'm ready to start work on a Tuesday, and working 8 till 6 is absolutely fine. Like, it doesn't make any difference at all to me, because I was a teacher before and I was working maybe 6 a.m. till midnight every day. So 8 till 6 does not matter to me at all. It's a significant reduction in hours from teaching, and it is just so worth it to have that Monday off where I can do anything I like. And usually it's knitting, crochet. Sometimes if we've been somewhere on the weekend, it is lying in bed all day recovering. But yeah, and that allows me to recover, which means that I can work more productively the rest of the week because I'm not flaring up as much, or I'm not in as much pain. So yeah, it is brilliant. I highly recommend the 4-day working week. But yes, that is my lovely acquisitions. I cannot wait to get started on some of these. But I need to finish my whips first. I forgot to show you one of my acquisitions. Reason being, my cat Jon Snow was sleeping on it because I'd put it on the floor ready to show you. And now I have to hide the strap because Jon Snow is a grey and white long-haired chinchilla Persian who sheds. And he has left hair on the bag. So we'll try and hide that. But yeah, this is the bag. It's got little wooden shelves on it where you can put your patches. It came with this patch, Rufus the Lion, and I think they all come with the same patch as far as I know. So here is Jordan the mini lobster. Actually says Joanna the lobster. Maybe Joanna's the normal kit. I got the mini kit. And then I got Bridget the elephant. And I got the mini Bridget again. I forgot about this one. I also got a mini egg, hatching egg with a little chick inside. So that came with the patch. So it'll be lovely for Easter. And then I got Bryony the whale shark. Spelt the same as my middle name as well, which is nice. I can't wait to make her. Isn't she great? And this is the one that came free with the book. It's Estella the Clockwork Nightingale. And I don't actually have the kit for this one, so I might have to get her at some point. Yeah, so that is the ones I've acquired recently. And I'm going to have to take some time and iron them all onto the bag at some point. But yeah, thank you, Toft.
Oh, isn't it exciting?
I thought I'd do a little section of my podcast. I'm doing the usual, whips, finished objects, acquisitions, little shop update. But I'm also going to do a section about things I'm looking forward to. So, first of all, I've already spoken about the Westnitz MCAL. I'm really looking forward to that. That's coming up. My husband got me this pattern for my birthday. It's called the Killer Queen Cowl. It's by Lyrical Knits, and it is made in this yarn. You need 2 skeins of Rios. I think that's by Malabrigo, but it doesn't. Oh yeah, there. Malabrigo Rios. And this is in colourway Teal Feather, 412 Teal Feather. So you need 2 skeins of that one, and then the other skein, it looks sort of like a mustard, but then when you get up close, you can see that it has different shades in it. So when I unwrapped the skein, I thought, that doesn't look right. But then when you actually look at it, it does have those mustard tones. It is so squishy. And this one's same yarn, Malabrigos, and it's 862 Piedras. Malabrigo, sorry, not Malabrigos. I was combining the two. Yeah, so that is one thing that I am really looking forward to. There's also a sheep festival tomorrow, the Llandovery Sheep Festival. Not sure if I'm going to be well enough to go, probably not, but if I do manage to go, I will probably film it. So I'm looking forward to the idea of going. Secondly, I'm looking forward to making these. These are the Gothic Arches socks by Dot Stabbles, and I can't really show you much of the front page because the pattern is on there. It's a paid pattern, but how cool are they? Let me zoom in a bit. So we got cabling going on there, and then it goes down into these Gothic bits. I have got a sock set from Pigment and Ply to do those with. So when I cast on, I will be sure to show you those. And then the other things I'm looking forward to are the Toff patterns I told you about earlier. So we've got Brownie the Whale Shark. I've got a blue to do her in. I fancied a... Is there someone at my door? 2 seconds. There's no one at my door. My other dog Maddie just likes to bark randomly at nothing. So yeah, I've got blue yarn to do the whale shark with because I was already doing a grey elephant, so I thought the blue would be nice to go with that. Then this is the hatching chick. Intermediate. I have only got the yarn in the kit to do the chick, not the Easter egg. But if you buy the chick, then it comes with the whole pattern for the egg as well. So I'm sure I can find some stash yarn to make the little egg to go around the chick. And then I have Mini Bridget the elephant, who is very cute. And this is the poinsettia. Oh no, that's the formal dahlia. Oh, that's the birthday one. It looks red, but it's not. It's like a deep magenta pink that isn't showing in the photos. In that case, I am missing a poinsettia pattern. Must be here somewhere. yeah, so I'm looking forward to making all of these. Particularly the whale shark. I might keep this one to make around Easter time next year. Yeah, lovely, lovely tuft patterns and that gorgeous cowl by Lyrical Knits.
Open it now, this second. Give yourself a little treat.
Just to finish off, another quick bit again. I'm going to show you what's in my shop at the moment, which isn't much. I don't dye on much. I can't dye on much. I maybe can dye 2 skeins on a weekend. Yeah, so whatever's in my shop is there. And I will keep adding to the shop. And I've also started making stitch markers as well, but I'll show you those next time. Anyway, these are the autumn yarns I have left. So this one is based on autumn leaves, and it is just gorgeous. It's really hard not to keep these for myself. Some focusing issues. Better. There we go. It's got some lovely orangey tones, some lovely dark browns, speckles. That is one of my absolute favourites that I've dyed so far. So that one is available at the moment. I've got this one, which is called By a Cider Press, and it's based on a line from the To Autumn poem by Keats. It's got all those apple skin tones, some browns in there, and some greens as well. And again, I really want to dye one of those for myself. That one can come with a contrast mini. It's got all the greens. So that's in the shop as well. I have this random skein that I dyed that I actually think I might keep. It's just tones of purples. And it was a result of leftover dye, and I just love it. So that might go into my stash. And I've also got a mini in that, which might actually make a nice contrast with this next one. This one is called Hallow Queen, and it is lovely black, dark greys, pinks and purples, speckles, and it is just lovely. So yeah, that is Hallow Queen. That will be in the shop. I do need to get better at skeining. I don't have a fancy machine and my arms don't work very well, so my skeins are a bit chunky. My son has actually been practicing skeining yarn. He did this next one. This is Monster Mash, and as you can see, his skeins are a lot tighter and a lot neater than mine. So yeah, so this is Monster Mash. I've got 2 skeins of this. One skeined by me, one skeined by my son. And they are just a mixture of all the typical Halloween colours. Orange, black, greens, pink, purple. And I love them. They're a bit more bright in real life. The camera's not picking up on the colours very well. I love it. Focus. So yeah, I'm hoping to take some proper photos and get my stitch markers photographed as well. Oh yeah, that could actually be a nice sock set. And yeah, fingers crossed I'll be able to get these in the shop. I still also have a skein of pumpkin spice latte. I'm sure there's something else as well. I'm sure I've got one skein of something else. Can't remember for the life. Oh no, I don't think I do. I think this pile here, and pumpkin spice latte is all that I have at the moment. And then it'll be time to move to Christmas yarns. I might do some skeins of a November themed yarn, which will obviously be bonfire and firework themed. I'm thinking a bonfire and skein would be lovely, and a firework one, I'm gonna have to think about that one. But yeah, so these are all available. www.wildmagicyarns.com. You can find the shop on Instagram as well. And yeah, I'm just starting out. Sold a couple of skeins. Hope people are happy with the yarn and that they like it. I absolutely love dyeing yarn. I feel like it's my calling. I wish I could do it full time. I wish I could hire somebody who didn't cost me anything to hire, who can just come here and do what I say and dye yarn. Maybe a robot. Yeah, because I wouldn't feel guilty about not paying them. And they can come and do all the physical stuff for me. And then I can do the dyeing bit. Love it. So that is me done. I'm sorry it's not a proper podcast where you can see my face for most of it, but it'll have to do for this time, and then hopefully next time, fingers crossed, I'll be well enough to do a proper one. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Give me a like and a share and a follow and all that stuff, and I will see you next time for episode 2. Bye!